Good morning students and welcome back to the Community Engagement and Social Responsibility class. My name is Vaishali Sharma and I am an assistant professor at the School of Liberal Arts, Bennett University. Every community, whether it is a country, a group or even a classroom, needs a shared understanding of what is right, fair and respectful. That is where charters comes in. Today, we will learn about the meaning of a charter, its historical origins, the United Nations charters and how various countries have developed their own constitutions. Then we will examine closely how India drafted its own constitution, one of the most detailed and inspiring in the world. And finally, we'll apply these ideas to design our own classroom charter, a framework of shared values that promotes cooperation, respect and excellence during your final examination. So first, let us understand what charter is. A charter is a written document that lays down important rules or agreements. It can explain how a group, an organization, or even a country will work. For example, the United Nations Charter guides nations on how to cooperate and maintain peace. The Constitution of India is a national charter defining the rights and responsibilities of citizens. And if our class writes down how we will treat each other and study together, that is also a charter. The word charter simply means a written promise or a written plan. The main purpose of any charter is to bring order, fairness and cooperation among people. To better understand this concept, let us examine the origins of the charter concept and how societies first began writing down laws and duties that shaped their governments and communities. The practice of writing down laws and duties is ancient, and India played an early and influential role in shaping it. Around 300 BCE, the Indian scholar Kautilya, also known as Chanakya, wrote the Arth Shastra. It described how a ruler should govern with justice, fairness and care for the people, making it one of the earliest examples of constitutional thought in the world. A few centuries later, Emperor Ashoka carved his edicts of Dhamma on rocks and pillars across his empire. These inscriptions promoted compassion, tolerance and responsible governance and are one of the first recorded moral principles for society. While these early Indian texts shaped ethical and structured governance, similar developments were emerging in the other parts of the world. In 1215, the Magna Carta in England marked a turning point by limiting the king's power and establishing the idea that even rulers must obey the law. In 1787, the United States Constitution became the first modern written constitution, beginning with the powerful words, "We the people," which expressed the idea that political authority originates from the people. In the 20th century, the world took a significant step towards global governance with the signing of the United Nations Charter in 1945. This charter laid down principles for international peace, human rights and cooperation among nations. It includes a preamble and 111 articles that define how countries should work together to maintain global harmony, making it one of the most important international charters in the modern history. In India, during the British period, the concept of constitutional governance evolved gradually through a series of legislative measures. The Charter Acts from 1813 to 1853 and the Government of Indian Acts from 1858 to 1935 introduced elements of representation, legislative council and limited India's participation in administration. Therefore, Indian leaders then began to imagine a framework for self-rule. The Nehru Report of 1928 outlined a draft constitution for India's future, and the Karachi Resolution of 1931 listed fundamental rights such as equality, freedom and social justice. These ideas later became part of our own constitution. By the time India gained independence in 1947, the foundation of a national charter were already in place. Soon after, the Constituent Assembly was formed with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as the chairman of drafting committee. The Assembly held 11 sessions over a period of 2 years, 11 months and 18 days, carefully debating each article and principle. The Constitution of India was adopted on 26 November 1949 and came into effect on 26 January 1950, marking the birth of the Republic of India. Every year, 26 November is celebrated as the Constitution Day or Samvidhan Divas to honor the adoption of a constitution. This year, on 26 November 2025, India will celebrate 76 years since that historic moment, a reminder of the vision, unity, and democratic spirit that continue to guide our nation. It was a long and remarkable journey from Kautilya's Arthashastra to Ashoka's edicts, from the Nehru Report to Ambedkar Constitution, each stage contributing to the evolution of India's own charter of democracy. Now that we have seen how charters evolved throughout the history, let us examine what they actually contain. Every charter, whether it belongs to an international body like United Nations or a country or even a classroom, has a clear structure and purpose. The first part is usually the preamble. This introductory statement explains the purpose and guiding values of the charter. The United Nations charters begin with the words, "We, the peoples of United Nations, determined to save succeeding generation from the scourge of war." The Constitution of India begins with, "We, the people of India," indicating that power of the Constitution derives from the people themselves. In both cases, the preamble expresses vision, unity, and shared responsibility. The next part consists of articles or sections. These are the main parts of the charter that describe how the organization or nation will function. The United Nations Charter has 111 articles divided into 19 chapters. The Constitution of India originally had 395 articles in 22 parts, and now it has more than 470 articles, explaining the rights of citizens, the structure of government, and the process of lawmaking. A good charter also includes rights and duties. These make sure that everyone knows both what they are entitled to and what they are responsible for. In the Indian constitutions, Articles 12 to 35 describe the fundamental rights, and Article 51A lists the fundamental duties of every citizen. So whether it is a UN charter, a national constitution, or even a classroom charter, each one has the same goal: to build fairness, cooperation, and accountability among the people it serves. Now that we have understood how charters are written, what they contain, it is time to put that knowledge into practice. Just like countries and the United Nations build their charters, we will create one for our own classroom. After watching today's lecture, all of you will be divided into 5 to 6 super teams. Each team will act like a mini constituent assembly, just as India once had while drafting its constitution. Within your team, you will discuss and decide together. First, what values and principles are important for a fair, respectful, and supportive class. Second, what fundamental rights every student should have, such as the right to express opinions or to learn in a safe and inclusive environment. Third, what fundamental duties each of us should follow, like respecting classmates, faculties, being punctual, completing assignments on time, or contributing positively to group work. Once your team agrees on these ideas, you will begin drafting your classroom charter. Use the same structure as we studied earlier. Write a preamble, which is a short paragraph stating your vision for your classroom community. Write your articles, which should be clear, numbered points outlining your class rules, rights, and duties. Ensure that your charter embodies fairness, cooperation, and mutual respect. After all super team finishes, one representative from each team will present their charter to the class. Then, all the super team representatives will come together to merge the best ideas from all teams to create one final unified classroom charter, which should be submitted to your instructor in the next class. So as we move forward with this activity, remember that charter making is not just about writing rules on paper. It's about creating understanding, building the trust, and shaping the kind of community we all want to be part of. Whether in a nation or in a classroom, a good charter reminds us that progress happens when people listen, cooperate, and work together for a shared goal. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing the creative and thoughtful charters you all will bring to life. Thank you.